because he kicks 2 people out of my fucking party. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck do you do? How the fuck can you, there's no way to fucking do this. This is bullshit. There's no, but this is bullshit.
Look,
so,
turn on that light.
You figure out a way to get around it. You figure out a way, what your 8-year-old mind, who is playing this amazing RPG, goes, okay, how do I do this? What happens?
Solo it. The fact that it isn't possible to solo it at all.
Then you come up with this bright idea. You see this one summons that goes, huh, this will revive everyone in my party. That's kind of cool, but I mean, that's not really that useful most of the time. And then you go, oh, wait a second.
Final attack.
Huh?
What are you talking about?
Fucking Phoenix.
Yeah, what about it?
Phoenix revives everyone in your party. And so my 8-year-old mind goes, okay, if I have 2 people dead, and he kicks out 2 people, but they're dead, maybe if I strap Phoenix on one guy, he'll fucking kick out 2 people, I can revs them, and then it'll be, good to go. Let's do this.
Kick out 2 people, and if he kicks out 2 people and you only have the 3rd person dead, they're dead and it's game over.
He won't kick them out because they're dead. That's what I'm saying. Like if I go in with 2 people dead, and he goes to like,
he'll throw one out. He'll leave one alive.
No, he won't. If you go in with 3 people,
read description.
You go in with 2 people dead and 1 person alive, he will not kick anyone out.
I know that, but you said if you had 1 person dead, 2 people alive, he wouldn't kick anybody out. He'll kick somebody out because there's still more than 1 person alive. And that's the way it's intended, because you're supposed to 1v1. The fight was intended to be 1v1. There's no way they programmed.
There's no way to prove that it was intended to be 1v1.
The fact that it can be done is a big one. The fact that it was supposed to be a lot harder than an Emerald Weapon was one. The fact that if you have all 3 characters to fight Ruby Weapon is a lot easier than Emerald Weapon.
Give me a reason why Ruby Weapon is easier than Emerald Weapon with 3 people. Why?
Because it is easier. I have no problem with Ruby Weapon when I had 3 people.
Oh, exploit, not RJ.
Oh no, I didn't. I've already told you before. I've done it.
You can't use that. Because you know why? He said from the beginning, just because he would use the tactics did not mean that it sacrificed the principle.
I know. I'm just fucking around. I'm not making an argument.
I just want to add. I just want to add to the conversation. It doesn't matter how many times you lost to Ruby Weapon or Emerald Weapon or whatever. You both lost to me in Magic.
Wow.
Did you get that on camera?
Yes.
I'm a fucking man.
Wow.
No, look, deserve an ass kicking.
I understand. Like in your example in WoW, like there wasn't programmed. Like it wasn't programmed. Well, I mean, yeah, it was programmed that all the people dogpile and mitigate the damage.
Okay.
That was an in-game.
And to use other examples from WoW.
No, I don't care about.
No, to use other examples, like. There are mechanics that people just get around. Like, avoid entirely. If you can avoid a mechanic in WoW...
that wasn't intended to be avoided.
Yes!
That's an exploit.
That's not an exploit.
If you're getting around something that wasn't intended to get around, that's exploiting something.
No, it's not.
That is simple as that. I don't understand what you don't get about that.
The only thing... an exploit is... No. If a mechanic exists in game and you find a way to handle that mechanic... then that's not exploiting it. That's just finding a way to deal with that mechanic.
No, look.
What the hell?
If something look, programmers think in mind with things,
and that's why they have playtesters.
Yeah, that do a horrible job most of the time.
Well, hey, that's not the point.
They do a horrible job. They do a horrible job most of the time, but there are thousands upon thousands of video games out there, and you're just like exploiting your ass way through every single one of them.
Okay.
Are you?
No.
No? Because the playtesters aren't doing that bad of a fucking job.
There's not a video game out there that doesn't have some kind of exploit. There's not a single, out of the thousands you mentioned, there's not one that doesn't have something you can do
Name me another exploit.
In what?
Anything. Name me another exploit.
In what?
Super Mario Bros. 3.
Ducking through a wall and sliding through it.
Okay. Name me another exploit.
Pick a game.
First of all, ducking through a wall and sliding through it is not an exploit.
What?
At the end of the stage, you could go into a hidden area where there are boxes that you could get prizes from. How the fuck is that an exploit?
No. If you jump between, you have like a coin block, a space, and a ceiling. If you can jump, if you duck jump into it and then stand up, so your head pops through the bottom, it'll like you up through it, and it just like suck you through.
Now that
Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy
You gotta
V.
give me a freaking second! You gotta give me a second!
Give me an exploit for every single Final Fantasy game.
Final Fantasy VI, Vanished in Exo.
There, thank you.
How is that an exploit?
Vanish and Exo. Alright, Exo is supposed to be a chance to kill an enemy or get them out of battle or just get rid of them. If you vanish them before you do that, it works 100%. It is never supposed to work 100% of the time. It is not designed that way.
I just also like
bosses.
I just also like to point out the whole reasoning that the playtesters should not have missed it. In Final Fantasy VI, the playtesters never noticed that accuracy doesn't work.
Yeah?
Or evade or whatever it is. Because blind in Final Fantasy VI does
Give me a
nothing.
second.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to say this right now. I'm still going to think about it. But there might not be one that I know. But that doesn't mean there's not one in it.
Oh, but there is one in every single game.
I'm positive of it. Oh, you know what? All right. Well, am I going to have do I have internet access? Can I do that?
Fucking sure.
All right.
I'm just saying, if they really wanted Ruby to be one-on-one, and absolutely have to be one-on-one, they programmed it in the most retarded way possible to make that guaranteed reality. Like, I am a programmer, so if I really wanted something, I could make that happen. Like, if I don't want somebody to like use capital letters, I can check it in JavaScript, I can check it in PHP, before it goes to the database, I can recheck it. I can do all this stuff to make sure that what's going in my database
and
is
they
what
did
it is.
Once.
And they did it one time at the beginning of the round. Now, I'm not saying it could not have been the way, but the way it looks like they didn't care as much as you do. Lantis.
They didn't care as much as you do.
I don't hear anything.
They didn't care as much as you do. Wow! Not even listening to anything anymore.
I'm busy looking for it. You want me to get every single freaking Final Fantasy? I've got some research to do because I can prove you that every single game on this planet has at least some kind of exploit.
Every single game.
There's gotta be. That's just how it is.
What about Checkers?
Video game.
Checkers is a video game.
Screw Checkers.
I beat you in checkers last night too.
Alright, so for those of you watching, I've already been recording for 8 minutes and haven't been able to explain this. This debate started when we were discussing... Okay, in Final Fantasy VII, you have this optional boss called Ruby Weapon who knocks 2 of your party members outside of the battle so they cannot fight at all, even if you try targeting them or whatever. But there's an exploit where if you go into the battle...
Possibly an exploit.
Well, alright, I gotta stop you there because he jumped on it. Did you see him jump on it?
I did it very slowly and politely, thank you very much.
He jumped on that
There is
so quick.
possibly an exploit.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually the whole point. The argument here is that it's an exploit that if you go in and purposely kill 2 of your party members before you fight Ruby Weapon, after the first few turns, you bring them back, and the 2 random party members won't get thrown out, and you can go on the rest of the fight fighting Ruby Weapon with all 3 people. And we're debating if that's was that intended or was an exploit that they overlooked.
Well, if I might interject a thing here.
That's what she said.
One, I knew it was coming.
That is what she said.
Okay.
But I'd like to point out that Ruby Weapon, if you go in with 1 party member alive and 2 dead, if Ruby Weapon still knocked out just random people, it might knock out the person who's alive, which would instantly kill somebody. So it is pretty much purposely programmed not to knock out people who are
purposefully programmed not to knock out people who are dead?
No, purposely programmed not to knock out, anybody if there's only one person.
Except there are still 3 people.
There's not. You can't target an enemy can't target an ally an ally of yours that's dead. Just like you can't target an enemy that you have just recently killed. If I go and slay a goblin, there's another goblin. I can't target the one that I just killed. It's dead.
Yeah, but
Well, you can in Final Fantasy
Yeah, but it
1.
doesn't matter if they disappear because enemies have the ability to revive each other. Like they can revive and they reappear. That they're actually technically they're not even gone. They're just not visible. That's just how they're represented being KO'd.
So, you can target your own
By the way,
allies.
in Final Fantasy V, you can
I bet I know this one.
completely ignore random encounters. You can actually Berserk X Death, which is not supposed to be able to do,
Why not?
and completely skip the final boss's true form, Neo X Death. That's just
Can't really?
yes.
Yeah.
You can.
But how and why is...
How can you skip
do you
a
wanna
final
read?
form
You wanna
of a
read it?
boss?
Okay,
How the
never
fuck
mind,
are you doing?
never
I wanna
mind.
hear
Well, how do
why.
you
Holy
skip?
shit.
I want to hear how you skip X stuff. I do want
Yeah.
Let's see if I can.
Because I seen a YouTube video of that and it was in Japanese, so I couldn't really figure out what it was.
Alright, sealed sneaks. Wait, that's the wrong one. I scrolled away, sorry.
The only thing I can think of is regular X-Death has a certain amount of HP, and he tries to transform before he reaches 0 HP, and if you hit him hard enough, maybe that's how you kill him.
The Kiss of Blessing, expect you walking through the walking. What is it? Alright, that is here. The Kiss of Blessing bug is a bug from the game Final Fantasy V. Using the Chemist's Mix command, the Kiss of Blessing can be made by mixing the Maiden's Kiss with the Holy Water, giving the haste, image, and berserk status to the target. However, due to the coding of the berserk effect, overrides everything, even boss immunity. Using the mix on the boss can cause them not to perform any script used in the battle. 2 particular noticeable effects in the battles against Xdeath. So the one-on-one battle versus Gluff using Kiss of Blessings on Xdeath will make the battle unable to end, as Xdeath is actually defeated by this script prompt. Using it on the Xdeath battle in the Industrial Rift makes them unable to transform into Neo Xdeath, allowing the player to complete the game without defeating the final boss. Alright, was that intended?
No.
I'm just saying, we can do this all day long.
That is intention. That is a bug in the code.
That is an
That
exploit.
is an exploit. You can exploit that.
That is a bug in the code. And
You say
people
tomato,
use it-
tomato.
It's not a bug in the code to enter a battle.
It is something you can do to bypass something that was originally
I don't think it's a bug in the code,
intended
but only because if you didn't do what he said do it, you would never know about it.
Yeah.
So, but you're forcing it now. Like, you're forcing. That's an exploit. When you do something that causes the game to misread whatever it's supposed to read, then you're doing that.
Yeah.
That's like
you
hacking.
are. But that is a bug. You are You are fucking with the
It
code
doesn't
on that
matter.
one.
You can do
Yeah, but it
something
still
to
counts
get
as an
around.
exploit, though.
All it is,
What?
you're
No,
exploiting the
nobody's
game.
arguing with that one.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that's a fucking exploit. That is a bug in the game.
By the
Yeah,
way,
that
you have
overwrites
about
the code.
8 or 9 minutes to finish this debate because the
it's
battery's
not
almost
getting
dead.
finished.
Okay.
It's not
okay.
getting finished.
That's a fucking bug. That's an exploit. You're not doing anything to the code in 7.
Okay.
And it is perfectly legit. Like, I didn't look up that idea on some walkthrough or go online or hear it from a friend. I came up with that idea myself, going, oh hey, Phoenix revives party members. I wonder if this'll work. Oh hey, it works. And if an
Okay.
8-year-old kid goes,
A revive spell works? Why is that even? Oh my gosh, this revive spell picks up dead people. Oh
If
my
an
god.
That's not what he meant, and you knew it.
an 8-year-old kid can go, oh hey, this works, and that means I don't have to fight him one-on-one, which I thought was impossible at the time. Fucking really? You're telling me playtesters, programmers, designers, no one else ever which is really funny because apparently everyone else ever eventually thought of that, but they didn't.
I didn't think of it.
It's a little suspect.
I'm just saying.
Just
Hold on.
So, people watching at home, what do you think of this? Is it an exploit or was it intentional?
It's also
All
a
right,
ridiculously
I've
retarded
got-
argument, so
All right,
yeah,
no,
we're sorry.
Hold on. I am looking up the Final Fantasy wiki. I know wikis aren't, proof of anything. It's a wiki,
So,
right? I'm just gonna look and see.
It's gonna say on the Final Fantasy wiki, oh hey, there's an exploit to Ruby Weapon, blah blah blah.
We're gonna
blah,
find
blah,
out. I'm just
blah,
gonna
blah.
look. And right
Unless
now it
it's-
doesn't mention, but it does have a glitch section.
Unless it's from the developers saying, yeah, you guys are exploiting our fucking shit. Thanks, guys. Then
Fuck you guys.
go fuck yourself.
Well, if I can find any kind of source that says that it is a glitch,
You're a source that
But-
says it's a glitch.
but I'm
so
like
if you
somebody-
find anyone
look,
else who has
look,
your
look.
opinion, it's a glitch.
No, look. A wiki is a better, reliable source than I am. I'm not saying it's the end-all, be-all source, but it's a better source than me. If you can find a better source than you online saying that it is
shit.
intentional, that is the way it is intended, I will concede.
Unless either of them come from the developers, it doesn't matter.
I think this is over now.